Hello, you incredible friends. Welcome to our next Boss Ladies Summit. Can you please give the person next to you a round of applause? They can see you. We can see everyone. As I say from the bottom of my heart, bless you all. My name is Edwin. I'm honoured to be supporting global women's empowerment, and we have got some amazing people here with us today. So firstly, to our people watching, thank you. If you are watching, please feel free to use the chat, connect with each other, share your LinkedIn, and ask us questions and put it out there. And there's a few speakers that we have. Now, firstly, we've got the legendary Tasia on the line. Can we get a big wave to Tasia? And Tasia, feel free to say hello.
Hello, beautiful people. It's been so nice that we are connected. And this is our third one, I think, that we've done, our fourth one already. So it's just a delight to connect with you from Los Angeles, as I mentioned. And it's wonderful that we're coming from all around the world. So I'm delighted to be with you.
Oh, it's an honourable pleasure. And Tasia, I just want to ask you, and also firstly congratulate you. Happy Mother's Day, Tasia, and happy Mother's Day to our mothers in the world out there.
Thank you. Thank you. It is a beautiful experience. I have, in case anyone wants to share in the chat, I have 3 children myself, and they're almost twins, boy, girl, and they're 18 and a 15-year-old. So I'm like in this like next phase of like the exit of the nesting, 2 kids off to college next year. So I'm kind of mind blown of what that's going to be like, but it's wonderful to be a mother, and it's the hardest job in the world next to wife. Jobs, I say jobs, but it's the hardest relationships to be our best roles, but definitely the most fulfilling.
Now, what I was going to say is Dr. Liz is on her way. She's in a regional area, so she's having a few internet troubles. And we've got recordings of Emmy and wonderful Bernie. So I thought the best way to get started is, Tasia, I think we should start with you and me, and then we can dive into the recordings until Dr. Liz shows up. And I'll tell you what, don't worry, Tasia, the questions are easy. There's nothing going to be, it's all going to be good. Are you ready to be the strength forward, the fist punching through the wall?
I am ready to give great voice, which is my platform. You can see behind me, and lead the charge until the ladies can arrive as best I can. Luckily, you can see I'm on the extroverted side, so I can handle it. I'm not shy.
Yeah, you're not shy. That's for sure. So question 1, and everyone, please keep the chat going, talk to each other, share your LinkedIn links, ask us questions, keep the chat going.
Shall we share a little of our background? Should I let them know before we do the questions, like a little bit about me, so that they can at least get a sense of what I'm coming from, or just dive right into the questions?
I think we should tell a little bit about you. Firstly, you're a famous actress and voiceover artist, and you're in Star Trek. So I'm going to open up with that one, Tasia.
Edward's a big Star Trek fan. I don't know if anyone is a Star Trek or a Star Wars fan, but I've somehow been in both those worlds. I've played an adult Vulcan in Star Trek, and I played a Jedi in the Clone Wars. So my name is Tasia Valenza, and I am an Emmy-winning voiceover artist and an actress. And I use my passion and my background to create the platform to give great voice, which really means to move, touch, and impact using our voices. And it is my passion and mission to teach the art, what I like to call the art of confident, compassionate, captivating communication, utilizing the skills of an actor and a voiceover actor in your own life, so you can play your professional and personal roles more successfully with more impact. So that's me in a nutshell, and I'm delighted to be with you today.
Oh my God, let's give Tasia a round of applause. Now we're going to dive into the questions. So
now we're going to dive into the questions.
The topic for this one is we're talking about clarity and self-confidence when it comes to women's empowerment. And question 1, Tasia, what does clarity mean to you?
So I was thinking about this, and clarity for me is really aligning my goals with my values and my intentions, having a sense of mission, and really starting to analyze without a shadow of a doubt, like, am I on the right path with my purpose? Because there was a time I didn't even really know what my values were. I mean, I really literally had to write them down. So often we think, I believe in this and I believe in that, but actually writing them down was really helpful for me. And then becoming clear in both my gut, my brain, and my heart after I take time to ask myself, is this what's true for me and aligned with my values, or is it somebody else's values that I'm trying, or the desire to keep up with society? Really discerning. So discerning with those things, is it my values, understanding them first, and then really living with purpose and passion is what has helped me to gain clarity, so that whenever I take a step forward with intention, I keep reminding myself, is this something that really aligns with me, that I feel it here, or am I just, letting my brain be hacked and kind of like, running after too many bunnies? So it's getting and taking the time to be clear based on knowing myself. That's clarity for me.
Excellent answer. Round of applause on question 1. So I'm going to hit you now with question 2. Awesome, Tasia.
If anybody has any comments in terms of if that resonates, of course, I'd love to hear it too. Because a lot of times, and I'd ask the question while we're talking about this, have you ever written down your values? Because a lot of us haven't. And that's a great way to gain clarity if you are aligned with your values. Because otherwise we're like, kind of like, do I want this? Do I want that? And we're so fed all the time by social media and society what our values should be. So this is just a good question.
Actually, that's a great point. And I just think, and it's especially in terms of women's empowerment, it's like women are told all the time how they should look, how they should think. You got to do this, you got to do that. There are so many unfair expectations placed on women.
Yes.
And it's just, I suppose my first question is, who's coming up with those expectations? People with bad agendas would be my suggestion. What do you think of that, Tasia?
Well, I think there's a lot of money behind it. I think there is money behind it. I mean, I am a voiceover artist, and I am the one pitching those things and saying, you really need that perfume, and you will, that shade of colors. Look, I have my own shade on today, and I don't even wear lipstick a lot, but I thought I was like wearing red. But, we're constantly being fed. And I mean, I'm the storyteller who tells you. So I want to let you in on the inside that there's money to be made on it. And the more we are lacking, the more that we are needing to buy that to be okay. Somebody's making money. So just being aware of that is a really good thing. And I think certainly we're at a time when it's the most on the table that we can pull back the curtain and see that we're being hypnotized. But at the same time, we're being hypnotized more than ever, because when I was growing up, there was only television and a couple of media outlets. And now it's 24/7 a day that we're just taking in information, we're scrolling. But all of that is seeping in. And unless we question it, we're just, I'm teaching my daughters that, is that true? Is that true? Is that true? Question it. So I think it's an understanding that we don't have to accept everything, and we should be the witness and really curious about who's benefiting from us not feeling like we're enough.
Oh, that's a round of applause. That's a complete red pill. I think Tasia should be definitely in the next Matrix film for sure.
It's just good to be curious, because if we get curious, follow the money trail, you'll always find that there's an answer to it. And then we can decide for ourselves, if we choose to, as opposed to just going, there's a really incredible Netflix documentary. What was the name of that one that we're all, what is it? The social dilemma. And it really shows you how Facebook and all of these mediums are literally making avatars out of us and constantly tracking us so that they can give us those, and that our news is literally filtered to find out, like when you Google now, if you do Google something, you're not actually getting straight facts anymore. You're getting like, oh, they want to know this, but we're going to keep it on that. So it's really good to know how we're being hypnotized so that we can then take a step back. And when things are suggested for it, it's like, no, thank you. No, thank you. So, knowledge is power.
And that brings me to, I think, a key question here. Now, in terms of women, this, what you're talking about, what extra issues does this give to women? So what additional barriers do women face?
Well, I think, again, sometimes it's so much of our aligning with what the societal values are, and then feeling less than. It's our own self-speak. So much of our our programming is not just what we're getting from the outside. It's, as women, historically, we were told to give, 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 and that we should get the crumbs. And I remember one of those seminal moments, was watching Dr. Oz, and he was in front of like 300 women on the stage, and he was like, ladies, I am a heart surgeon, and I have operated on thousands of hearts. And he said, who is the heart of the home? Women, right? But he said in when he's operating, the heart feeds itself first before any other organ in the body, before the liver, before the kidneys. The heart has to circulate all the blood throughout and give it to it. So he said, so who's the heart of the home? All the women raised their hand. And then he said, okay, now who feeds themselves first, emotionally, socially, first. And then like two hands went up. It goes, well, ladies, you'd be a dead body. Because, and I was like, that like just smacked me up. I was gobsmacked. I was like, he said, you need to fill yourselves first. And then you are overflowing, and you can take care of the kids and get to work and be the husband, and especially represent to your lady, your young women growing up, that it is good to be full. Now, of course, we are torn in many directions. It's easier said than done, but to have the mindset and be aware, what is my programming? Have I been programmed to only take the crumbs at the end when I'm an empty sieve? And having that metaphor of like, I am the heart of the home. I need to be full, or at least somewhat full, so that I can give from a place of fullness. So I think it's a lot of programming. And again, reprogramming, relearning, and also, women lifting up other women. I think we've also been programmed that it's a competitive world and the queen bee only gets it. And so sometimes we're the ones tearing each other down or not supporting each other. So I think we have to have a different shift of mindset, that we all rise together.
And just on that note, right, and I'm absolutely not deflecting away from men. Us men need to lift our game, and all say it. However,
yes,
from so many women lately, I've had so many women come to me, a lot, I'm not outing anyone, but a lot who I'm actually talking to now, telling me that it's actually women on women sexism that's been a big problem for them. It's actually women pulling them back and not men. And I don't know, that seems to have become a big problem lately. What do you think of that, Tasia?
Well, it's like, as I said, I really think that we have to shift our minds to support each other, that we rise together, and that it's not, comparison is the thief of joy. That's one of my favorite quotes. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's not my quote, but it is something that is my seminal thought, that when I'm feeling fearful or competitive, or they have more than I do, or she's better than me, or prettier or smarter or more powerful or more successful, but that I remind myself that I am a unique individual. I have something to offer. We all have a seat at the table. And if I support her, then my energy is at a high frequency, because to give is the highest frequency, and that the universe replies tenfold. So I think it's our self-speak, it's our mindsets. And so many of us are in a fearful mindset of lack, which unfortunately was programmed in 0 to 7. And we need to update our software, which is a constant awareness of affirmations. How are we speaking to ourselves? Do we say in the morning, oh my God, it's another day. How can I get through it? I hate myself. And then show up? Or do we say, gosh, today is an incredible day, success, prosperity, and abundance in many different forms. I've memorized this. It's on my mirror. Have naturally found their way into my life today. And by the way, if you think that's woo-woo, Brian Tracy, one of the foremost business coaches in the world, says that we program ourselves first thing in the morning. You jump out of bed and you say, I feel terrific. I feel terrific. I feel terrific. You tell yourself, because the subconscious is always listening. And then you go in the mirror and you look in your eyes and you say, I like myself. I like myself. So this is a business coach saying this in the Psychology of Achievement, because he says that we can only like others to the degree we like ourselves. So we must program ourselves for success.
And just on that, I don't think winning's woo-woo. I don't think anyone watching think winning is woo-woo. I think winning is awesome. So you know what, Tasia, round of applause to Tasia. What we're going to do now is the legendary and very awesome Bernie can't join us today. Her name's Bernie Davey. She's an amazing lady. And Bernie, I actually did a recording of Bernie that we're going to actually go through and Tasia are going to react to. So it's almost going to be like a YouTube video. We're going to watch Bernie and then criticize and support her. No, just kidding. We're going to empower her. But the big thing I want to say, though, Bernie has had a few, she's doing good now, but she's had a few health problems with high blood pressure. So Bernie Davis is an amazing lady. She's doing good now, but she had a few problems with high blood pressure, but we just love her, and I was able to get a recording for her. So Tasia, are you ready to watch the recording of Bernie and more?
She's amazing. I can't wait to you guys are going to love her. She's a powerhouse.
Yep. And also, too, great comment from Sarah Khan. Yes, I turned off all the hidden tracking on my phone, Facebook, and computer after watching that documentary. And tell you what, good for you, Sarah. Keep the conversation going. Keep talking to each other. And as well, here is Tasia's LinkedIn link. Please connect with Tasia, and feel free to share your own LinkedIn links as well. Use the chat and enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go straight to Bernie. This is me interviewing her last night. So I'm just going to go share screen. So can I get a thumbs up if you can see a tired yet sexy one of me at 11 o'clock last night? So I do apologize. I was very tired. It was 11 o'clock last night my time, but let's go. Hello, you legendary friends. I have Bernie Davies here. Bernie, it's so good having you with us as part of the Boss Ladies Summit.
Oh, I am thrilled to be a part of this empowering series, Ed. I think it's just making so much difference right now.
And it makes an extra difference of you here. Now I'm going to hit you with the questions, Bernie. Question number one, awesome Bernie. What does clarity mean to you?
Oh, clarity. Do you know, sometimes we think that clarity is something that means that we have no questions. We will always have questions, but for me, clarity is that knowing, that deep knowledge that without a particular thing or a particular way of being or a particular offering that you might have that you want to introduce for your marketplace, if without that you think you will miss the mark of what your purpose is, then you're into clarity. Sometimes you might have questions around, how do I deliver this then? I know I need to, like, for example, let's make it personal. I always like to give examples of myself. For me, perfect thing about clarity, because I have so many offerings. I remember when we spoke first, where we met, you said, Bernie, you do so many things. Tell me, what's that one thing that you do? And that's my clarity. So yes, I might be a speaker, I might be a coach, I might be a trainer, I was a lawyer, I might be an author, I might be a publisher, but do I deliver? That's my clarity. And my clarity is I help people to see themselves. I put that mirror up and I say to them, guys, look at you. This is you. Recognize your inner genius. Let's bring it out. So I use all these various things. So when the question might come in with a particular person, how do I get their inner genius out? Do they need to write a book? Or do they just really need to get some clarity on their message? Or do they really just need to understand and accept and love who they are, their uniqueness, so that they can create an amazing brand around themselves? And then by extension, their business brand, and if they have a company, their company culture. So really clarity is that one thing that everything sits on, despite all the questions. I hope that answers it.
Brilliantly, Anne. Okay, round of applause. Tasia, can I please get your reaction to that? What's your reaction to Bernie's thoughts?
Yes, and I would love anybody else's reaction in the chat. But for me, I love the idea that clarity comes from questions. That that it's okay to have questions to figure out, we can't always be clear. I mean, life is messy. It's a journey. So we have to figure out, what is clear for us and what is our true essence, and that we can be messy, and through the questionings we get to become clear. And having all of our talents, my platform, Give Great Voice came from my 35 years of being an actress and a voiceover actress, but it's been an evolution of like, what does it mean to give great voice? And it keeps becoming more clear as I question, as I get responses, as it evolves. So that's for me. I love that she was saying that we can be so many things, but the questions itself help us to gain clarity, and that, then we find the through line, and her through line is to help the people find their super genius. And I love that. And my through line is the essence. Ask yourself one sentence at the end. My brother asked me at one time, what does it mean to give great voice? Tell me in less than a sentence. And I said, okay, it took me a long time to come up with it. At its essence, it means to move, touch, and impact. So when you can kind of ask yourself the questions, eventually you'll be able to get it in down to a sentence. That's clarity. And I think that's what Bernie was saying, that you can find it through questions.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Big round of applause and a few reactions. Keep the comments going, keep connecting. Christine Reynolds says, yes, our lives are forever changing and growing. Here. Zara asked, is that uniqueness based on tests that John Lennart sets? Go on to ask Bernie, actually. I don't know the answer to that, but go on to ask Bernie. And Simone says, breathe true to yourself. Here. You ready for the next part of the Bernie interview, Tasia? Let's do it.
Definitely.
This has turned into a YouTube podcast. I like it. We're watching other people's videos and commenting on it. I like it. We should start a gaming channel, Tasia. We should do that.
Yes, well, I love games, but just more from the being in them and not playing them.
All right, let's go. Next bit.
Bernie, which brings us to question two. Question two. What does self-confidence mean to you?
Oh, self-confidence. That's something, guys, that we got to practice. You know that old saying, fake it till you make it? Sometimes you got to just say to yourself, I can do it. But what are you going to base that on? Some false reality? No. You base that on preparation. In order to get confidence, I find, and you tell me if you pursue something without having prepared yourself, if you're confident in executing it. And I tell you, you're lying. But you tell me that if you prepare yourself, you put in the hours to know your craft, hone your craft, and understand how to execute your craft, you tell me that when you're about to do that, you do not have confidence. I tell you, you're lying as well. So one of the root reasons for confidence is preparing yourself. And how do you prepare yourself? Prepare yourself by understanding, first of all, who you are. And what do I mean by that? What are you good at? Where is your expertise? What's the thing that you do without even thinking about it? And then what's the part that you are not so good at? So when you understand those two things and you accept that, then you have a strategy. If I'm going to go out and I'm going to be a speaker, say you want to be a great speaker, but you might find that you have difficulty, then let's say in remembering your lines. You're stuck to your script. What have you got to do? You got to sit with that script. You got to practice. And there are some hacks about how you deliver. But once you actually learn how to do it, you can stand like the next person who does it without thinking and appear to your audience with the same clarity, the same confidence, and the same efficacy.
Brilliantly said.
All right, Tasia, what are your reactions to that one, Tasia? Oh, unmute. We've got to hear the legendary Tasia in action.
Sorry. I would love to hear other people's reactions in the chat to that, if it resonates with you. And by the way, Amy Cuddy, who from her famous TED Talk for power posing, which is mind hacking, is not just fake it till you make it, but fake it till you become it. But I love what Bernie said, that again, the idea of really practicing it, gaining the clarity and self-confidence from the doing of it. And doing it well, that, confidence doesn't come, nobody's naturally confident in something. I mean, I'm not naturally confident. I'm confident at speaking now, but I wasn't always. And I'm certainly not confident at, doing technological things. I mean, I'm kind of a technophobe in so many ways. And so Zooming and all those things, only by doing something over and over again do we gain confidence. But I love that Bernie said, it's really not just, it's finding out what you're passionate about, what you do for free and you love it, and then practicing that. And then the other things that help assist that, you also have to practice until you become confidence. Confidence isn't just gained by, I just am. It comes, you can even look it up, but confidence is the act of learning something and doing it, but not just like download it. I think that's more self-esteem, but not necessarily self-confidence, right?
Here, round of applause and a few great comments. And keep your comments coming, awesome people watching. Please share your LinkedIn, give us your comments. So firstly, Home2019 says, a friend once said to me, prepare your field so when the rain comes that you're ready to go. Here, I couldn't agree with you more. And just scrolling up a little bit on Legendary Zoom, we also got another one from Stephen Hutchin. Fake it till you make it is so defensive. In this life, you want to be 100% offensive. Here. I mean, you got to go after it, and just incredible. So powerful. Let's continue the Bernie interview. Let's head on back, legendary people. Back to Bernie.
Bernie, so well said. This takes us into the third and I think most interesting question. What extra barriers do women face that need to be overcome?
Oh, I think we face the barrier, women. I know we talk about imposter syndrome, but I think for us, courage. Courage is a big thing with us women, and we don't like to look silly. And if we admit it, we do a lot for each other to approve. We look to each other, other women to approve. Men think we dress for them. We dress for each other. We feel fantastic when another woman says, oh, you look amazing. Like the last time when I was on the recording and Tasia, I shout out to you, Tasia. Tasia messaged me and said, that Bernie, you looked amazing in green. That meant so much to me. Yes? So we look to each other for approval. So what we need to look at now is, all right, guys, girls, we've got to now, in 2021, know that we're going to come up with some challenges. Yes? We're going to need to pull on what's inside of us. We're going to need to be honest as well with ourselves. And I'll tell you a little bit of a story. Sometimes we need to just look at how things are going. I always tell stories that are in the past, and I want to tell a little one about now, what I'm going through right now, just to be transparent. And I'm not going to try to advertise or anything, so I'm not going to tell you the names of anybody. But I just launched a publishing house, and it's because things had led me to that. Authors wanted me to publish them, and I decided to do it. Now, I was scared. I had no confidence in that area because I'd never done it. I went and I prepared myself, but let me be honest, I realized I didn't prepare well enough. So when it came down to the time to publish my first author, just a few days ago, in the midst of my illness, I realized that I messed up on an important deadline milestone. And what did I have to do? I had to have the courage and the confidence to say to my author, I think we are not going to make that deadline. The night before I had to make that call, said, I don't think I'm going to make that deadline. I had to have the confidence that the work that I had done for her before would make her trust me to continue. But you know what happened? I still made the deadline. But I did make it by a miracle. But the thing is, I had the confidence in the fact that I delivered such a good service to her up to that point. I had the confidence in the fact that truth is the most important thing that I need to have. Integrity is the most important thing I need to have. And I needed to tell her, I think I'm going to mess up. I didn't. Okay? Now she came out, she published this week. She's already bestseller. Yes? I'm not going to tell you the title, I'm not advertising, but she's already bestseller. Now this is me having confidence in somebody, my mentor saying to me, Bernie, if you're mentoring these authors, you need to publish these authors. And I had to have confidence in that advice. I had to have confidence in an area in myself I'd never used before. I had to plan and prepare, but I made mistake. So guys, once you're going to be confident about this, you're going to make a mistake. But in 2021, ladies, listen, if there's an opportunity and it's naturally flowing and your audience is asking for it, go for it. Have the confidence that it will happen. And if it doesn't, and it's not have the confidence that you can be truthful about it, and you will get through it. I hope I've answered that.
Brilliantly, Bernie. And that brings us to...
Oh, wasn't that impressive? Round of applause. Tasia, what is your... Everyone keep the discussion going. Tasia, what's your reaction to that one?
Well, I just love Bernie because she's all about integrity. And integrity is hard to come by nowadays, right? Because we're all trying to we want to live up to the expectations, and it's hard to it's hard to seem to fail, right? I mean, here she is in a position where she's going to have to face something that she wasn't confident and actually have to own up to it. And the fact that she was willing to do it and have the courage to face it was fantastic. And yet at the same time, it came through and had the belief that she'd still done enough work that she was going to still be trusted. So I think some of it is really just having that integrity and that ability to be truthful, and people really respond well to that than if when we try to cover up and then we, one lie begets another lie begets another. And even if it's like a white lie, sometimes we can find ourselves, losing our integrity, and then we lose the trust. And if we lose trust, then when people can smell it a mile away. And so that was something to me that really spoke, that Bernie's all about that.
Yeah. And I'm calling out the elephant in the room. One thing that I really, so again, as a man, I'm quite involved in women's empowerment. It sets us all back when people who are fighting for women's empowerment aren't telling 100% of the whole story. It sets our whole movement back. And I think one of the biggest problems that women's empowerment has today is a lot of the figures who are involved in women's empowerment, they've said things, they've contradicted themselves. And I don't know, to me, that just sets us all backward. What's your thoughts on that, white elephant, Tasia?
Well, again, I it's hard to talk specifics, but definitely we need to live in alignment that if we believe in it, we have to act as if when the camera's on and when the camera's off. So all I can say is that, it's something that we all need to check in with ourselves, and that it goes back to the values again. Yep. What are my values, and am I in alignment with them? And am I living a double life? The one I show on screen and the one that I show behind. And I think we're becoming a lot more transparent. We're a lot more, at least I'm noticing that anytime I post something where I'm saying, gosh, I'm having a little bit of a difficult time, or I failed at that, I get 20,000 more comments than when I'm like, today's an amazing day. It's like, I love to be positive Petunia, but I think vulnerability and authenticity is so attractive because it gives permission for people to be, imperfect themselves. So I think nowadays, the more we can share our failures and challenges as well as our successes, we gain that many more fans and people that appreciate us, because then they feel like, you're human too.
Oh, here. What I'm doing is I'm just quickly sharing Bernie's link. So please connect with Bernie Davies right now. And I'm just a few really cool remarks. Keep sharing your LinkedIn links. Keep the conversation going. Mubarak has said this. Oh, pardon me. Learning how to use my PC again. Oh, Gabriella says this. What I read before is that we should act in the way of the type of person that we want to be when we act. Confidence comes from taking action despite our fears and more. Here, beautiful comment. And what else have we got? And Mubarak has said their absolute thanks. Great having you with us. And Shivani talks about courage. Love your work. Let's go to the last bit of legendary Bernie. Then we're going to bounce over to Emmy and keep it all moving. Keep the discussions coming, friends. We love your work. So, pardon me, I do know how to use my PC. Let's keep it moving.
The last powerful question. What are your closing thoughts on empowerment for women?
Oh gosh. Acceptance. Ladies, we are always looking at the next person. Oh, my bum's too big. Look at her nice shape of her bum. Look at her legs. My legs too skinny, or my thighs are too thick. Oh, I wish I had her nose. Oh, if only I had those boobs. Come on now, guys. That same person is wishing they looked like you. Listen, let me tell you something. You have got to, in this time, be empowered by the beautiful, wondrous creation you are. Women are made to nurture. So therefore, in business, we are going to have clients that will open up to us more than the all-male counterparts. So be empowered by that knowledge. Women are great networkers because they talk a lot and they listen a lot. Be empowered by that knowledge in 2021. You have the edge to network naturally well, okay? And you know what else? Women are birthers. Have the confidence in that in 2021, that if you have an idea that you want to birth, that bring to life, and you're a woman, there's a pretty good chance you land it well. Yes? So I'm not saying that we have the edge on men in everything, but in those aspects, these are some of the things that we have that we can look to, we can hold on to that, and we can say, I am a woman in a male-dominated society, and I always, whenever I make this reference, I always say, listen to me now, I'm not man-bashing. We're not about man-bashing. We're about being graciously strong and empowered in our feminine self, working alongside our male counterparts, but owning our unique and personal space in it.
Here. And as we talked many times of.
All right, Tasia, what's your reaction to that one, my friend?
Well, I love that, Bernie, again, about the women that are natural network. We love to chat. We're group, in the cave, we all came together, and that it's a wonderful thing that we can empower each other by supporting each other's dreams and reaching out. And now, I mean, again, through these platforms, look where we are now. We're all coming from different parts of the world, and we're having a women's empowerment, and it's all through LinkedIn, which is an incredible networking platform. There's Clubhouse. There's so many ways that we can now support one another, and also, engage with incredible men that are supporting us. I mean, it shouldn't be one or the other. That's what I love. It's like men are there to support us. And I think we're all kind of recognizing that when we can all gain forces together, we have so much more success than when we're all tearing each other down, or it's our side against their side. So I'm of the mind that women can empower other women, and again, energetically speaking, when we are giving at that level from a place of generosity and abundance, on a frequency of vibration, we are so much higher, and therefore we gain so much more than when we're in a place of lack and we're holding on tight. We end up holding on tight and nothing can come in. So that's the metaphor. And I feel like Bernie supports that 100,000%. And she amplifies that. She is totally supporting all the time and empowering. And I just look up to her so much in that way. And hopefully, again, how are you feeling right now? Do you feel empowered? You have the ability to take this energy and harness it, and then pay it forward and create this ripple effect. And that's our mandate. That's why we're doing this today.
Here, and the view that I've always taken as well, I come from a military, being a veteran background, and, why would you attack your allies? Of the men that want to help you, why would you attack them? It's not logical. By all means, attack sexist men, do that all you want. But the moment you say all men, you're turning away people that want to help you. Like, it makes no militaristic sense. So I tend to look at
strategic. It's very strategic. But I mean, look at you. You are again, always, you're the one who creates these platforms with the beautiful Lassie for us to be able to empower and to share. So I think it's absolutely something that we can, again, align ourselves with allies, but, speak up and feel empowered. Our voices deserve to be heard. Again, historically, sometimes women don't feel like they deserve to be heard. And that's so much, again, of that self-speak. How are we speaking to ourselves? And one of those affirmations is, my voice is powerful and it deserves to be heard. Say that to yourself every day. My voice is powerful. My ideas are brilliant. My voice deserves to be heard. And it will be so.
Here. And also, thank you for bringing that. An honorable mention to Lassie. Lassie, my wonderful wife and all that. Lassie actually created this concept. So make sure you connect with Lassie as well. She's absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do is two things. Emmy couldn't make it this time, so I've got a much very quick and direct interview with Emmy that Tasia and I are going to remark on. And also, too, I think Dr. Liz Isenring has had some connectivity issues. So big shout out to Dr. Liz. Dr. Liz may not be getting in today. So Dr. Liz was meant to join us. Not her fault. She had some connectivity issues, I understand. So
technology.
Yeah. But what we'll do is we'll do a follow-up cut with Dr. Liz. So please connect with Dr. Liz. But
she's amazing. She's amazing.
And we've got Sarah Polyakov on the line, who's going to be our VIP guest at the end with something she wants to say. So we're going to go to Emmy through a quick cut, then Sarah with Tasia and I commenting. Then we're going to have a quick read from Sarah, which I'm looking forward to. Also, too, keep sharing your LinkedIn, keep connecting.
And can we also have questions? If anyone will let you know, in case anyone has questions at some point, or we're going to wrap it up prior to that. I just want to make sure that anybody feels, if they have a question or two, throw it in the chat.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, put the questions in so we can answer. I think if we answer them in real time, it'll be better than waiting at the end. So
sure.
Yep. Any good points or any questions, throw them in. So let's now go to the Emmy cut, which I'm very excited about.
She's brilliant, coach. So amazing.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Now, Emmy's a bit like me. She's a real short, sharp communicator, and you're going to get a very, very different experience. So, without further ado, let's see what Emmy from Canada has to say.
Question number 1, what does clarity mean to you?
Clarity, yeah. So that's a really actually important. That's a really big topic because clarity can go into like so many ways into your life, right? So I think without clarity, you are lost. You don't know where you're going. You don't know which direction you're taking. You're emotionally maybe not invested where you're going. So I think it's one of the first steps actually I'm teaching to my clients as well, is to get clear about where they're going and who they want to be. Because it's like a GPS. If you don't give the GPS direction, it's gonna take you wherever, turn right, turn left. It doesn't know where it's going, right? But you need to have a direction. You need to have an end goal, kind of outcome in your mind, and then break it down to small steps, and also be clear about what your next step is.
Tasia, what is your reaction to Emmy's direct point?
Well, I guess, again, I love everybody else's comment, but it's like the GPS, right? You got to know what you're doing. It's the same thing I said. You got to ask your questions so that you know where you're going. And when you know where you're going, you can take steps to get there.
Oh, here. Let's see what else Emmy has to say again. Emmy's like me. Emmy is Bernie tells his legendary stories, and Emmy and I are very similar. We're just boom, that's it. So there you go. Totally different experience.
Oh, perfect answer, Emmy, and thank you. Perfect answer. So good, I don't need to ask a follow-up question. So I'll ask question 2. Question 2, Emmy, what does self-confidence mean to you?
Self-confidence, yes. So self-confidence is, I believe, coming from doing. It's coming from believing in yourself. It's coming from taking risks. It's coming from loving yourself fully and really not wanting validations from others, from the outside world. And so, if in my case, you have to get to that point where you love and accept yourself so much, and you trust yourself that you get out of your comfort zone every day and you put yourself in a situation. It's actually really good because the clarity, right? Like, I know where I'm going, and in order for me to get there, I really need to get out of my comfort zone. And I need to learn how to be confident when I'm doing it. So I need to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And the only way I can do this is by doing, is by repeating, is by failing forward, is by trying new things. And as I go along, I get more and more confident, and I step into my full power.
Excellent. So
all right, Tasia, what is your reaction to that one, my friend?
Well, I'm going to ask you, Edward, turn it to you, because you've been asking me this whole time. What's your reaction?
I think it's I'm often on a very similar wavelength to Emmy, and again, bring it more to women's empowerment. My big whole take with this experience is that you got to know exactly what you're trying to do, and you got to go after it, and don't let anyone screw with you. And whilst I'm not a woman, I am a man of color. I know what discrimination is, albeit not to the level of being a woman. But what I can do is say this, is that whatever barriers are against you, you can't let it slow you down. You can't let it stop you. And as my friend Stephen Hutchin on the line as always says, is don't trust what the establishment says. The establishment's always trying to hold you back. And I think the establishment suppresses women more than men. I really do believe that. I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to please the crowd, but I do believe the establishment wants to keep women down more than men. I don't know if that's true or not, but what do you think of that counterpoint, Tasia?
Well, I mean, it's an interesting position because with who is the establishment, we have to ask. But the idea is that, women are incredibly powerful if we believed it. And I think we're like 52% of the world. I mean, we have a lot of numbers, right? So if we believe we are empowered, we can really change things rather dramatically. So yes, there must be a good agenda to want to keep us down, because then those that are in power can stay in power. So, so there's something to be said for that. And I do think that, again, the more awareness we can, and the more, again, the more reframing these old paradigms by speaking into it and having these conversations, and maybe not making them perfectly comfortable, the more we can start being, as they say, woke, where it's like, we can say like, hey, is this true? And why is this true? And should it be true? And what can we do now to change it? Because if we don't ask the questions, if we just stay like kind of hypnotized, and by the way, again, the more like we're just scrolling, we're kind of hypnotized. We need to like come out and say, no, 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 no. And what action can I take today? So it's not like Emmy just says, yeah, you got to think it, believe it, and then take action. It's not enough just to believe it, but the setting it up is the goal setting, and the writing it down and the affirming it, and then taking one step and one step, and one step becomes 20 steps, chunk it down. But the idea is first to program for success and then take action. You really, you can't sit on there and like, this would be otherwise it's just a nice idea. But having it and acting on it, and then being your own cheerleader, your own confidence coach. I can do this. And then your own compassionate companion, taking a breath. It's like, okay, I had a moment. I forgive myself, and also finding your tribe. There are tribes. Everybody can find a tribe nowadays, whether they're virtual, in person. COVID has made us that we are an international tribe now. So that's something that I believe as well.
Here. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish the Emmy cut. Then we're going to hear from Sarah if she's around. Sarah's one of our VIP guests, and what I'll do is let's hear a bit more from legendary Emmy. Stand by and play.
Summary: you could say self-confidence is being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yes, that's a perfect way to sum it up, Ed.
Brilliant. Excellent, Emmy. Question 3. What extra barriers do women face that need to be overcome?
Ooh, that's a tough one. What extra barriers we are not facing? You know what I mean? It's like, it's so many. In my opinion, let's see. So in throughout my life, I think it comes down to belief. Like, as when I was growing up, I saw, like, as women, as mothers, like I'm a single mom, so we like expected to play a certain role, and it just sometimes we feel like that we are not confident enough to step out from that norm and do what we want to do. We're not value ourselves enough. So I think there's just too many barriers. I can't even go into all the barriers that are there. But there are some. It's more for like from the outside world. Like what do they expect from us as women, as mothers? You stay home, you clean, you cook, you wash clothes and take care of your husband, you take care of your kids, and you go work at the same time as well. So you kind of like wearing multiple hats at the same time.
Wow, brilliant answer, and a lot going on there. And that brings us to the final question, Emmy. What are your closing thoughts on empowerment for women?
My message would be to believe in yourself, to start loving yourself fully, accepting yourself fully, and don't wait for validations from anyone outside of yourself. So when you really learn to, dig deep within and understand yourself and accept yourself and love yourself and fully show up for who you are, you can feel that empowerment from within. And when that comes from within, then you can start sharing it with the world. And empowered woman. We all know that. And I just wish that every woman can find that within themselves and live a powerful life.
Oh, here. Tasia, what's your quick reaction to that one? I thought it was gold.
Yes, it's just like she said, it all comes from inside, and that's all programming. But again, because I talk about the voice, it's like learning the language of self-love is a very foreign language to a lot of people. Especially, again, most of us will talk to ourselves like, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid. But how many of us say comfortably, I'm amazing and I love myself and I am rock star, right? That's cocky, that's arrogant. No, it's essential. It's essential programming, because the more you can say it, the more you feel that confidence. And then you literally authentically go out there into the world when you filled your own cup. So I say, use those affirmations. I also want to point out at this moment that I have a free affirmation meditation app that I'll put in that it's literally free, and it's called Haven Guided Affirmations, as a tool to support you. So not only do I believe it, but I have this app to help you. It's 10 minutes of self-kindness a day, because we can't learn a language in our head, right? I mean, if you anybody speak 2 languages or 3 languages, can you learn it in your brain? Right. Can you learn it, or do you have to say it out loud? You have to speak it out loud. That's right. So the language of self-affirmation, and it has to be, by the way, the subconscious is the science of it. The subconscious only accepts what's in the present tense, not the future or the past. So whatever you say after I am, or I have, I am making, I am doing, not I will, I wish, I want, I could have, I am, whatever you say after I am or I have, with consistency and conviction, tells your future. And that's what Emmy was saying. It has to be an inside job, but let's take the inside job and make it external with our own voices. Bam.
Oh, here, round of applause. Now, we're going to finish shortly, but before that, I don't know if Sarah's still around, but Sarah is one of our VIP guests. She actually helped us start the summit originally. Oh, there she is. I can see Sarah firing up. And Sarah is an amazing lady on many levels of the top empath. Sarah, I can see you there. Your hair is amazing. That is just incredible. Sarah, unmute and say hello. The floor is yours.
Woohoo! Sarah's amazing.
Guys, it is so very nice to see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Sarah. We're so happy you're here.
Good. I'm unmuted. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, so as Ed and Tasia know, I had a traumatic brain injury on February 25th. I had to put that in my calendar, otherwise I would forget. And I spent some time in the ER. And let me tell you, I'm still waiting for my brain to get back to normal. And I'm starting to assimilate that it may take more time. You will see my name here displayed as my maiden name, spelled in the original language. It's a Domnial. It's a Gaelic name, right? Okay, so it's where I'm finishing my PTSD certification, and it's where I have my licensed Zoom, which is required for all treatments, and so it's all signed up in this name, which is my maiden name. But you will find me as Sarah Polyakov. I know that's confusing, like Sarah who? Sarah who? Yeah, this is Sarah Polyakov. Okay, sorry. So my my brain has been trying to get better, but I do have a message for you guys, and I do hope that it's useful. And I also have a VIP behind me. That's Barkley, the leadership dog. I don't know if you can see Barkley, the leadership dog. He's taking a leadership nap right now. So yes. So I do have something prepared. I hope you guys are ready to listen, because I actually have something to say.
Yes, we can't wait.
Okay? Is that okay that I actually have something to say? Okay. Absolutely. I'm here in my jeans because jeans and jeans sound the same. Okay. Color outside the lines. That's one of my success tips. Color outside the lines. Live outside the lines, but keep your integrity. So live outside the lines while keeping your integrity. So why live outside the lines? Because it's where creativity can find its spark. Now, there's a reason for these feathers. This is an ancestral story honoring the warrior that's within all of you, honoring your mothers, honoring your grandmothers, honoring your great grandmothers. My great grandmother and great grandfather were from Pennsylvania. They had settled there in the 1700s. They found out that there were wars going on between the Lakota tribe and the Caucasian settlers in Spearfish, South Dakota. It's now called Spearfish. They decided to live outside the lines. They moved from their established home in Pennsylvania out to Spearfish, and they tried to bring peace between the tribes. They succeeded. What they did is they hired the chief's daughter, and they paid her very well to work around the house. They learned some Lakota words. My grandmother was named after that chief's daughter. The Lakota have quite a bit to say about women and their power. And this is a quote that I found online from a male elder of the Lakota tribe. But here's the waiver. If you find it online, you don't know the original source. So that's my waiver. But I found this online, and it was said to have been written by a male elder about women. He says, this is a man, I will lead the healing among the tribes. Inside them are the powers of love and strength given by the moon and given by the earth. When everyone else gives up, it is the women. It is the women who sing the songs of strength. She is the backbone of our people. So to our women, we say, sing your songs of strength. Pray for your special powers to keep our women and our people strong. Be respectful to our women. I vow to treat all women as if they were my own female relatives. This is my vow. Written by a male Lakota elder. I pulled that in because it's powerful, but it also hits close to home because I know my own ancestral story. I know that my own grandparents decided to live outside the lines, and they helped bring peace among the settlers. And my grandmother was named after that chief's daughter.
Oh, incredible, incredible. Round of applause to Sarah.
Right. Right. But guess what, Ed? I actually have something that's even more amazing to say. I don't know if you want to hear it.
Very quickly, we actually have to wind up any second. So
sure.
20 seconds go. 20 seconds go. We're going to wind up.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Quick, go.
Okay. Anytime anytime a creative idea sparks your mind, anytime you let it gestate, anytime you grow this idea and then finally release it, you have metaphorically brought a new and unique idea into the world. You have the power within to mother new ideas into being. And you apply this process to a new company you are developing, to a book you are writing, to a new artistic creation, a new brand, a new way of doing things. And you apply this process even as you recreate yourself after a setback. And this can make you a powerhouse.
Oh my God.
Right? This can make you a powerhouse. Embracing ideas, nurturing them, and doing it now makes you a powerhouse.
Sarah, we love you. Sarah, big round of applause to Sarah.
Thank you.
Big connect with Sarah. We have to finish right now, but before we finish, I want to give the closing final quick thought to Tasia. Tasia, can we get the closing thought final word from you, Tasia?
I'm just so delighted because I think that Sarah really nailed it. You know, you birth it, you mother it, you manifest it. We as women need to empower each other. We as men the men in our lives need to empower us as women as well and support this idea. We need you guys to back us up. It all starts with the self-speak. And then from there, we fill ourselves up and we bring that love and that consciousness and that support and that empowered to other people. And it creates a ripple effect. I hope that you guys know how important you are, how everything that you say really does matter. Even if it's a small idea, let it birth and gestate and believe in yourself. Smile when you speak with that energy and passion, and the world is yours. That's what I want to say.
Here to finish the event, go forth with maximum empowerment. Stay tuned for our next one. I think to close the event, can we give a love heart to everyone next to you? Love heart to everyone next to you.
Connect with each other. Yay. And Edward, can I say thank you to you for, again, always bringing your kindness and your compassion and your joy and your energy. Can we not all love Edward? Edward is like he's the mayor of the world. His enthusiasm is infectious, and he's got the biggest hearted soul. So I feed off of Edward's, and you are really you're exactly what we're talking about. Like, you support us so well, and we can all do that for each other. We just have to believe that we can.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you guys so much for showing up today.
All right, Max Love, round of applause. Feel free to unmute and say hello and hang out as long as you want. Thank you, everyone.
Hi.